So to go back to your question of addressing this challenge of a client who has multiple priorities and is trying to balance them, it starts very much with that first question of the strategy piece, and understand how you link to those two questions of where do they compete, how do they win. I think the next level down is this organizational piece of understanding what is getting most of the energy within that company right now, and how can you feed that energy? What are the initiatives that are top of mind? And because I think that what happens is this allows you to think about something like, let's say, resource constraints with a little bit more subtlety. Mm-hmm. The temptation is to say, well, this company, like most companies right now, is operating under much tighter resource constraints. They have to lower their cost envelope, let's say, and therefore they need to make cuts across the board. But that's not necessarily an accurate assumption, particularly if you understand a client's strategy and a client's organizational dynamics. And so, for example, there was, we've been in a case recently where we've been speaking to a few clients, and their initial statement to us has been, well, we can't do this with you. We can't expand the program with you because we're decreasing budgets across the board. And what we found was that when we pressed that conversation, and when we said to them, well, let's go back to what you're trying to achieve in the market, the strategy piece. Let's go back to what are the most important initiatives within the company right now. And let's figure out whether that actually makes sense to do a across the board cut, or whether it makes more sense to do two things: to bring the overall number down, but to actually maybe increase it in certain areas. Even though the overall number is decreased, it might make sense to actually increase the number for certain budgets within the overall number, because that is best aligned with what you're actually trying to do. And so we have been in situations where clients have not only lowered their budgets, but they've actually increased their budget for one of our programs, because we were able to explain that there was a clear connection between that program and the strategic and the not only the strategy, but the key initiatives that they had on the go.